Okay, I think we're recording, it's English 115. Oh, shooters, I was gonna do names. I'll pause when I'm done with just the content lecture part of this. And then I will hit names, so I'm not saying it on the recording, okay? Okay, so today we're gonna talk about topic and stated main ideas. So the definition of topic, and I will ask you this at some point somewhere, whether it's a quiz, a homework assignment, I'm not totally sure. But it'll say something like define topic, what is topic? And so I'm gonna tell you right now, topic is who or what that particular piece of information is about. So for lack of a better word, a lot of times when you are working within a course, oops, sorry, I'm gonna shut my door here. And our course is no exception, you have a textbook or some other thing, you're reading in paragraphs, right? Things are broken out in paragraphs. So when you're looking for the topic, we're gonna look for a topic in a paragraph. And the topic is who or what that passage or that paragraph is about, okay? So how do you figure that out? Well, sometimes you can read it and you just, well, I know it's about dogs, right? It's an easy one. But as you get in the college arena, and particularly now in a lot of your classes, you're reading information that are not what I would call a pleasure read, right? You're reading to be informed, you're reading content heavy things. So there may be a lot of stuff in there, you're like, yeah, I'm not really sure what the topic is. But knowing what the topic is kind of helps you get a feel for it and understand, okay, what is this thing about? What do I need to really be aware of? What am I going to be informed about? So you have a better understanding, okay? So we are going to work firstly talking about topic, and we're going to kind of practice that. So there are strategies kind of help you figure out what the topic is. So let's say you're reading a paragraph, you're reading a passage in the textbook, and you're on this paragraph, and you have no idea what the topic is. You have no idea who or what that paragraph is about, right? So here are a couple of strategies. Number one, look at either the heading or the title above it. And a lot of times the author, the writer, will drop a big old hint to you and say, here it is, a little snippet there of what it is. Another strategy is to look for specialized print or font. Oops, sorry. So what do I mean by that? It means, okay, in this passage, as you're looking at it, sometimes there's a word that's bolded in there, or it might be in a different color, or sometimes it's italicized. Those are all clues that this might be the topic, okay? So you look for that. And then the third one is you look for a repeated word or phrase, okay? A repeated word or phrase that occurs in the passage. So as you're reading about it, you see a word used quite a bit. Let's say, oh no, I'm trying to think what. Okay, we'll say dogs. Dogs are man's best friend. Dogs have many attributes. Dogs can save you. Dogs can blah, 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 right? They're repeating a particular word, so that's probably the topic, that's probably what that paragraph is about. The other flip to that, just to be aware, it's a word or a phrase or a synonym of that word. So maybe the exact same word doesn't occur all the way through, but a synonym for it. So for example, let's take that same passage. Dogs are man's best friend. The canine has many attributes, including a great sense of smell. Okay, canine is a synonym for dog, right? They're still talking about dogs, even though it has canine in there. So just kind of be aware. So it's a repeated word or phrase throughout. And then the last strategy is something that's mentioned at the beginning and then referred to later. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Maybe they say something like Franklin D. Roosevelt was the, I don't remember what number, 17th president, okay, so Franklin D. Roosevelt, 17th president. They say he had lots of initiatives under his presidency and did blah, blah, blah. His wife, Eleanor Roosevelt, was also a partner with his side in decision-making that he did during World War II. Okay, you get the idea. I only mentioned Franklin D. Roosevelt once, but I refer to him, he, his, that kind of a thing throughout, so that tells you that passage is gonna be about Franklin D. Roosevelt, okay? So that's an example of this strategy. So we have 4 strategies to help you. If you don't know what the topic is, there are 4 strategies for you to try, and you can do a combination of them as well. But 1, look for a heading or a title. 2, look for specialized print. 3, look for a repeated word or phrase within it. And then 4, look for something that they mentioned early on and then they refer to it in the passage. Okay? So those are our 4 strategies. So I'm gonna pause our recording really quick, and we're hold on, I have to figure out how to pause. There. Okay, so we're gonna try a couple examples. I'm gonna try number 3. So I'm gonna read it out loud, and then we're gonna use our strategies to figure it out. The answer, I lied, I'm not gonna do number 3. Let's jump through, because we're not gonna have time to do them all. Let's jump to number 5, and then we'll maybe do number 6 as well. So number 5. There is a heading and a title that says dealing with unwanted email. The best way to deal with unwanted email is to delete it. If you're tempted to send a reply indicating your disdain for the unwanted mail, think twice before answering. If the message is unwanted, commercial advertising, sending a reply will tell the sender that yours is a valid email address and you may receive more spam as a result. If you believe the unwanted email is illegal, such as mail messages containing child pornography material or criminal activity, you can report the transmission by forwarding it to the appropriate authorities. It may help to forward the message to the postmaster at your internet service provider, informing your ISP of the unwanted activity, asking for it to be stopped. Okay, so let's use our strategies to see if we can figure out the topic. So number 1, was there a heading or a title?
Yes.
Yes, there was. On this one, they did give it. It's dealing with unwanted email. Now, word of caution, just because they have a heading or a title doesn't mean that that is automatically the topic, but let's see if we can affirm it through our other strategies, right? So number 2, was there any specialized print? In this one, I did not see any font print, any of that kind of stuff. Number 3, did they repeat a word or a phrase throughout? Yes, they did. They did talk about unwanted email, and they said that phrase a couple of times. And then the last one, mentioned at the beginning and then referred to. Once again, yes, they mentioned this toward the beginning and then they referred to unwanted email and ways to deal with it throughout. So it does affirm, yeah, the title in this particular case is the topic that we're going for. Now remember, a couple little tricks with topic. Topic is always a word or a phrase. It is never a full sentence. So when you're looking for topic, you're looking for a word or a phrase. When we move next to main idea is always a full sentence, but we're gonna do that next, not just yet. Okay, let's try one more, and then we're gonna shift gears and do stated main idea. So topic one more time. Rites of passage of contemporary cultures include confirmations, baptisms, bar and bat mitzvahs, fraternity hazing. Passage rites involve changes in social status, such as from boyhood to manhood and from non-member to sorority sister. There are also rites and rituals in our business and corporate lives. Examples include promotion and retirement parties. More generally, a rite of passage may mark any change in place, condition, social position, or age. Okay? So again, let's look at our strategies. Is there a heading or a title?
Mm-hmm.
Not on this one. Was there any specialized print?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see any either. Number 3, was there a repeated word or a phrase within it?
Yes.
Yes. Does anybody want to take a shot at what it was?
Rites of passage.
Rites of passage, yeah. Okay. And then the last one, mentioned at the beginning and then referred to. Once again, rites of passage fits that bill. So, yeah, rites of passage is a good shot at, that is the topic, okay? So those are examples, and that's kind of activities for topic. So I just want to end topic with a couple of things. Number one, the definition of topic, who or what the passage is about, okay? Also, it's a word or a phrase. It is not a whole sentence. So if you are trying to identify a topic, you're not writing out an entire sentence, you're writing out either a word or a phrase. When you do the topic lesson, and I can't quite remember what I did on this, I may have given you like 4 choices and you had to pick the correct one, or I may have said you had to type it in. I don't remember which one. So if you're typing in, remember you're only typing word or phrase, you're not typing the whole sentence. Okay? Question on topic. Feeling comfortable? Okay. Well, let's shift gears then, and we're going to talk about stated main idea. Let's start with just main idea. Main idea is always a full sentence, and it should always include the topic in it, or a synonym of the topic, right? And it's telling the reader what the most important point about the topic is. So the topic is who or what. The main idea sentence is the author's most important point they feel about that topic. What's the most important point they want the reader to know about that topic, okay? So here's some strategies for stated main idea. Let me switch my erase my old and we'll write up some new. And this green, it doesn't really show up very well. I need to try to find a darker marker is what maybe there's one purple, or is there a purple in there? You think it's gonna be too skinny? It is wet erase. Yeah. Tell you what, I used the wrong marker. It will not be pretty. It won't be pretty on my end. I will hear from people if I use it wrong. Okay, so here's some tips and tricks, strategies to help you when you're trying to determine the main idea of the main idea sentence. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of go there. Oh, I'm sorry, and I forgot one more thing. Main idea sentence is the most important point that the author is trying to tell the reader about that topic. And there are 2 kinds. Stated main idea means there's a sentence that the author literally states what their important point is. And then there's implied. Implied means exactly what it sounds like. They imply what it is, but they don't directly state it. They give you, for lack of a better word, clues and hints, but you have to kind of figure it out, okay? So today we're gonna work with stated. Stated main idea means there is something right in there. The author took the time to tell you exactly what they feel the most important point is about the topic. So we have the topic. It always contains in the sentence. It's always a complete sentence. Okay, what does that mean? It means it could stand on its own. If you pull that sentence out, you didn't have the rest of the paragraph, that sentence could stand on its own and it would make sense. Okay? And then the third thing is that it's a general sentence, kind of an overarching sentence. What does that mean? It means it's not going to contain a lot of details, things like facts, figures, statistics, individual examples, that kind of that is not the main idea, right? Main idea sentence will have the topic in there. It'll be a complete sentence, which means if you pull that sentence out on its own, it'll still make sense. And then it'll be a general sentence, kind of an overall thing, not containing a lot of detail, which is facts, figures, examples, those kinds of things, okay? Those are our strategies. I'm gonna hit pause. Great. Okay, so let's try an example of this. When studying the world of living things, biologists and other scientists use the scientific process. Observations along with previous data are used to formulate a hypothesis. New observations and or experiments are carried out in order to test the hypothesis. Scientists often do controlled experiments. The control sample does not go through the step being tested, and this acts as a safeguard against a wrong conclusion. Okay, so remember, the best way to do is to start, see if you can figure out what the topic is, who or what is the passage first. So when we look at this, what do you think the topic is? Was there a heading or a title? No. Was there anything in special font? No. Was there something that was repeated? I'm looking to see if it was repeated. No. So bottom, the fourth one. Was there something mentioned at the beginning and then kind of referred to throughout? So take a shot. What do you think? Let's just start with topic. Who or what do you think that was about? That paragraph that I just read. I would agree. Now, which one is that? That means it was mentioned at the beginning, it was the first sentence. And then they talk about the scientific process all the way through. They're referring to it all the rest of the way. So now we know this is topic, who or what's it about? It's about the scientific process. Now, what's the author's most important point? What's the stated main idea about the scientific process that the author wants you to know? Use our strategies. Gotta have the topic in it, so I better see the word scientific process. It has to be a complete sentence, which means I pull it out, it's still gonna make sense. And it can't have details, it has to be general. Does anybody want to take a shot? Which one do you think it might be? First sentence. I would agree. So when studying the world of living things, biologists and other scientists use the scientific process. Does that make sense on its own? Yeah, I could pull that out, makes sense, I don't need the rest, right? It contains the topic, absolutely. Is it general? Yeah, there's no details, facts, figures, examples in there. So yeah, absolutely. Do you see how we're doing that process? Making sense so far? Okay, once again, we're not gonna have time to do them all, so let me just kind of pick and choose if you're okay with that. Let's go, okay, let's try number 4. Okay, we'll give this one a shot. There is a heading in the title, it says the Drug Enforcement Administration. And here's the passage. Established in 1973, the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, is the primary federal agency responsible for the enforcement of federal laws concerning the use, sale, and distribution of narcotics and other controlled substances in the United States. Of the DEA's over 9,200 staff members, nearly half are special agents. The agency is headquartered in New York. Its agents are stationed through the United States in 21 divisional offices and 14 strike forces in major cities. Some agents are posted overseas. Okay, so let's get our topic. Remember those 4 things, heading, special training, et cetera, et cetera. Do any of those help you out for topic? What do you think? Give me one, what do you think, Dave?
The heading.
Yeah, I think the heading, Drug Enforcement Administration, or you could call, say, DEA for whatever, that's the acronym, right? Okay. I agree. Does anybody have anything different? So now we know our topic is the DEA or Drug Enforcement Administration. So based on that, we use our strategies. Whatever sentence we pick has to have the topic in there or a synonym for it, right? Has to be a complete sentence and it has to be general. It cannot have details in it. Anybody want to take a shot? Not Dave. I already heard from Dave. I want to pick somebody else. I think I heard from Victoria too. Anybody else? Somebody else want to, what sentence do you think? First, second, third, fourth? Give it a shot. Yeah, go for it. First sentence. Here's my question to you. Does it have DEA or Drug Enforcement Agency in the sentence? Yeah, it does. Yeah. Is it general and not detailed? Yes, it is. Absolutely. here's one that sometimes they give, it says, I think it's the second sentence. Of the DAs, over 9,200 staff members, nearly half are special agents. Why would that not be the author's main point? Why would that not be the main idea?
The detail.
Yeah, it's got a number in there, right? Yeah, they're giving kind of facts and figures of things in a lot of those. I would agree. Oh, you guys are spot on today. Go for it. Okay. I don't know. I'd like to do one more with you. I just don't wanna take a lot of time. I'm looking for a short one, honestly. Number 5, let's try number 5. Okay? Analysts sometimes use the words such as liberal, conservative, populist, libertarian to describe how ordinary Americans think about politics. Those are ideological terms, as are terms such as socialism and communism. An ideology is a consistent pattern of political attitudes that stem from a core belief. The core belief of socialism, for example, is that society should ensure that every person's basic economic needs are met. Accordingly, a socialist would support public policies that provide for economic security, such as a government guaranteed annual income for all families. Okay, I'm not gonna go through the things, I'm just gonna ask you outright. Anybody wanna share what they think the topic is about that passage? Who or what is that passage about? Anybody wanna take a risk? Ding, ding, ding. Ideology, I would agree, you know, and if you looked at those 4 strategies to get the topic, it meets them, right? Okay, now, what's the author's most important point or stated main idea about ideology? What do you think? Melanie, you wanna take a shot? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Say the third sentence.
Okay, I gotta count. 1, 2, 3. An ideology is a consistent pattern of political attitudes that stem from a core belief. Is that what you're going with?
Yes.
Ding, ding, ding. I would agree. Why isn't it the other ones? Well, a lot of it is giving you examples of the different ideologies, right? We don't want that. We want a general overview of what the author's point is about the ideology, okay? Now, you're welcome to go through these and practice some more. However, I think I'm feeling that you have a really good kind of feel for content, for topic, and for stated main idea. So I'm gonna talk about a couple of things and I'm gonna stop recording for content.